Okay, so yesterday I was driving home in my car. I was listening to the radio, and lately I have been listening to a lot of Christian music, well, exclusively Christian music, because I'm just filling my mind with good stuff so good stuff comes out. And I also listen to other talk things, YouTube things, where I'm learning as well. Anyway, so yesterday I was on my way home from work and I was listening to music, and a song came on the radio. And it was You Are Not a God Created by Human Hands. So it's a little bit older, not a recent release. And I wanted to change it right away because you know how songs can make you remember a time in your life where you're just like, nah, and you don't want that feeling again. And that song did it for me. It's a good song, but it took me back to a time where I wasn't in a very good place, or things were really difficult. And so I've noticed that I've been doing that with a lot of songs that come on the radio. I just flip through it. I don't like the way it's making me feel, and I don't even process it. So this time I flipped it, and immediately I felt that quickening inside, when the Holy Spirit was like, yeah, look at this. So I decided, okay, I'm going to turn it back. This is a good song. I need to get over my issue. So I turn it back, and I just start searching myself. I'm like, okay, what is it that I'm feeling that I'm not liking? And what I started to uncover was it took me to the place where I was, and this is kind of, I don't know if embarrassing is the word. I just don't hear very many Christians talking about it. A place where I believed that God didn't love me as much. And in that moment, the moment I realized that's what I was thinking, I just started crying. Because that's a really hard thing when you believe the God of the universe doesn't love you, or love you as much, or that you're not as important, that you're the stepchild or something, that yeah, he loves you, but he loves other people a lot more. And I'd bought into that lie. And it was a little slow progress at first, just this little, and then it became an outright belief that I wasn't as loved. So, anyways, it made me cry. I would have made the video yesterday. Maybe I should have. I was a little bit emotional. And so I dealt with it. I talked to the Lord about it, and I was just thanking him that I'm not there anymore. He's worked me through that season, and I don't believe that anymore. And I've come into some freedom and some breakthrough with that, and it's a lot happier place to be living than believing that the God of the universe doesn't love you as much, that you're not as valuable as other people. And so then I had this guilt. Like when I'm talking to the Lord about it, I have this guilt. We had just been reading about the Israelites complaining when they were in the desert, and how they were like, God, you've forgotten about us, and are you not going to deliver us, and whatever. Because I've had some things a lot of things that it hadn't felt like that he was delivering me from. So I had the same thing. And so I was like, I'm feeling guilty that I even feel that way about God, because I know he loves everybody, and I know it insults him to think, for us to think that he doesn't love us and as much. So then I'm dealing with this guilt. I've got a friend. I'm dealing with this guilt, and so I'm just telling the Lord, I'm so sorry that I felt that way. I didn't want to feel that way. I wanted to feel loved, and I didn't want to feel rejected, and I didn't want to feel those things. And so I'm just confessing this to God and telling him I'm sorry, and I couldn't help feeling that way. It just felt that way. And then the frustration inside of you feel that way, but you don't want to feel that way, but you do. And the things that are externally going on to you that are causing you to feel that way. Anyways, very conflicting. But I've moved past that point. I've now been able to walk in the difficulties. Hi, Jack. I've been able to walk in the difficulties and rest, knowing that he loves me. and to really see it and really believe it. And I felt like the Holy Spirit just kind of comforted me, and he said, I can handle the way you feel, and I can deal with that. The grumbling and complaining is a different story. But when you are battling, feeling like God of the universe loves you, that's a whole different... He sympathizes. You know, I think about my children, and if they were to confess that they didn't feel loved by me, it would break my heart, and I could feel the Father's heart kind of breaking with me in reflecting on that and telling me it's okay. And he worked me out of it, and it is okay now. And then I began to weep and cry for the people who still feel that way. Like they feel like that God doesn't love them as much. And the church culture has been, I think it's changing right now with all of the world changes, but church culture has been a place that has the potential to facilitate that. Sometimes there's people that seem more important and they seem more blessed, and that's a whole different thing and what we define as blessed. But maybe, there's seasons of hardship and testing, and that's certainly what I was in. It was refining me, bringing out the impurities and making me stronger. Definitely made me stronger. Hi, Jack. I'm trying to talk. Do you feel that way? Jack recently lost his buddy. He's been real sad. Anyway, so my heart became very soft and tender for anyone out there that feels like they're not as loved by their Creator. So I just wanted to put that out there, that if you're feeling like that God doesn't notice you as much, He doesn't love you as much, and you're not as important, that I'm praying for you. I don't know your names, and you can tell me if you are. I'd love to listen to you and pray with you. But I understand that feeling, and I just wanted to put it out there for those of you that do feel that way, that my heart's tender for you, and the Father's is too. So is Jack.